Welcome to Here's How We Get There. It's the daily show filled with conversations about business and mental health in a down-to-earth style with real-world language. Now let's dive in with your co-hosts, Kenneth Shark Kinney and Trey Tucker.
All right, Shark, you are at the beach still. You keep making me jealous. And I'm just in my heart, I'm trying to fight the urge to say that I wish a big storm would come up and just ruin your whole day since I can't be out there. But I'm going to try to be graceful. All right.
Wow,
So one of the reasons you're down, yeah. So one of the reasons you're down there is more than just family vacation. You're actually also down there to do one of your famous shark dives. So
Yeah.
tell me about this particular dive. Tell me about how you got into it in the first place as well.
So a beach not unlike this one, got out and then got in a boat and then went out and was in the water and saw a great white shark when I was a little kid. And ever since then, I became completely fascinated and enamored with sharks. And a lot of people are smarter and safer and, they like horses and cats and puppies, but I just happen to like sharks. And I'm fascinated by their evolution, by the science behind them, and honestly, just the peace that you get from being in the water. But one of the things that I wanted to bring up is it's beaches not unlike this one where people sometimes encounter sharks. And a lot of times we see sometimes with the water's getting warmer or with less fish out there because we tend to overfish a lot of our waters, is sharks are coming in closer and closer to millions and millions and millions of people that go to the beach every year. And that's where there is an encounter and somebody gets bitten or attacked. And there's, because of the sheer force of their power of their jaws, for a lot of, especially bull sharks that come in, which has the strongest bite force of any shark, people, it makes the news and it freaks everybody out. There was a woman from Iowa who was just in the Bahamas where I've been diving with sharks many, many times. And she was in her 70s and was still diving, and she got bitten by a shark and lost her leg. This was all over the world news, and it was a big deal. But what she said, and people like me understand this, is she doesn't blame the shark. I mean, it's the same as walking into the jungle and, blaming the lion for biting you. You're not, it's not the shark's fault that they encountered you, but they're not looking for that woman. What the news ended up reporting was that she was close to a boat that was apparently feeding some fish as well. And so it was probably a misunderstanding. All that being said, what it can teach you about nature is to not just fear the unknown, which is what so many people do. And the more that you learn about sharks and their behaviors, the more that you can come to appreciate them and be nutty and want to swim with them like I do.
This is what I've wanted to ask you for a long time. It just hit me. Do you still have any fear when you do it, or have you done it so many times that it's
no? So I've done it so many times that how to appreciate that a tiger shark, for example, will come behind you, or that a bull shark may come at you, but you need to be able to push it and deflect it away. Probably the biggest issue that you'll ever have is a lot of times great whites, if you're in deep water, come up, and a lot of times they're in colder water, which is often more murkier water. So you don't see a great white coming, which is how a lot of people, run into them. Or you see too many people that are spearfishing. They've got a fish that's dying, flapping in the water, and they wonder why a bigger fish came up to get it, and then they get attacked. So once you learn to, you've been slapped in the head a couple of times and pushed a few away, you really appreciate that they're just fish. They're not attack machines. They're not the pit bulls people fear, in cartoons and on the news. They're fish. They have to be respected because you're in their element, like any other wild animal. But they're not the attack dogs that people think they are.
Man, amazing stuff. One of these days, I'm going to go on one of these trips with you.
You're invited. See you on the other side.
Thank you for joining Shark and Trey on the Here's How We Get There show. Make sure to rate, review, and subscribe to the show and visit here'showwegetthere.com. That's here'showwegetthere.com.